The Colts have one young player from each side of the football who have really been showing up in the joint practices between them and the Bears. So you got Nick Cross and Josh Downs, two very young players, very athletic, very instinctive. They do a lot of things right, but Nick Cross is a little bit more of a question. But Josh Downs, coming out of North Carolina, he was meant to be a third-round pick. No, a lot of people thought he would maybe be a first-round pick, a late first, maybe early second. Didn't go until the third, and the Colts snatched him up. And hey, we got two big-time playmakers. We got two guys that can be really explosive on the offensive side of things. So first of all, I'd like to welcome you to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. If you enjoy Colts content, NFL content, make sure you like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. Great place we got here. Great community. We're building something great. Get a part now while you can. Nick Cross. Let's talk about Nick Cross first. We talked a little bit about Josh Downs, but Nick Cross, out of Maryland, very instinctive safety, high potential, high risk, high reward. Very athletic, very instinctive, has a lot of great traits. Played a lot in the first two games last year, and then all of a sudden, Gus Bradley just stopped the snaps. He barely played at all, throughout the year since week 2. So really ask ourselves, why is he not playing, barely at all when, he's a young player and he has a lot of potential and a high ceiling. He needs the time. Is it really that bad? Maybe he was no, he wasn't dealing with an injury because it wasn't on the injury chart, an injury report at all last year. Might have just been a fact of Rodney McLeod is playing that position at a much higher level, because maybe but you do have Julian Blackman moving over to that, but moving over to that position now. Gonna have Nick Cross playing free, but maybe you just had a few other guys in there that were just playing at a higher level. Rodney Thomas, Rodney McLeod, Julian Blackman. Those are three really solid safeties, and those guys just must have been just playing better. And you know what? I kind of like when players are put through adversity like this, when they're played a lot and then, their confidence is kind of shot. But I think the most important question to ask, I think the most important thing to pay attention to is how they respond. And Nick Cross has been responding at a very high level within these joint practices. I think he had 2 picks in one practice yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. He had 2 picks, I heard. So pretty impressive. I'm not there myself, but I'm hearing a lot of good things from these two young guys. And you look at the Josh Downs and Anthony Richardson connection, it seems like those two are connecting at a very high level as well. 2 very explosive playmakers that we picked up in the draft. But back to the Nick Cross thing really fast before we move on to Josh Downs. Nick Cross, I think I already mentioned this, but he was very athletic, very instinctive, rangy. He's an athletic freak. High potential, there's a lot of potential with him. Hopefully he could start bringing that in this year. Hopefully he could really start showing that off in a single, which, Gus probably could call single, cover 3 is not really single high, but I mean, patrolling the middle of the field. I think Nick Cross can really benefit could really benefit from that. And, Ronnie Thomas right now, he looked pretty good last year. He was underrated safety for us. But the thing is, with a lot of our players is Julian Blackman, and, really a lot of players, Kenny Moore. It's a matter of fact of players being consistent from game to game, from season to season. Julian Blackman has been inconsistent. But when he has played good, he has played really good. Julian Blackman did not look as good last year. It's just we're having, so many players that are inconsistent. They're great this year, and then next year they struggle. Kind of like Kenny Moore. He's been good for a while. He's had a couple of good years, but then he's also had a couple of really bad years under his belt. Especially last year, it was really bad. It was really bad. But Josh Downs. Move on to Josh Downs. I still can't believe we got him in the 3rd round. There were so many people thought that he would go, it was possible that he'd go in the late 1st, early 2nd. And he ended up sliding to the Colts in the 3rd round. And already he's proving in training camp, the joint practices. He was struggling with the knee injury when he came into, the rookie camps, the mini camps, all that little stuff. He's really struggling with the knee injury, but now he's picking it up. He's catching everything, having some really nice catches, running some nice routes, winning his routes deep. There's a lot to like about him. I'm excited, and I'm about to post a play on shorts here of Josh Downs just catching a launched ball from Anthony Richardson. It was a joint practice. Josh Downs beats his guy. Anthony Richardson just lays it right in the breadbasket. I love saying breadbasket. That's my favorite way to say, you know, I know some people say right in the bucket, you know, right in the hands, right in the chest. I like to say right in the breadbasket. I don't know why I like saying that more. I think it's more fun to say. I mean, does it really matter? No, they all mean the same thing, but I like saying breadbasket. Josh Downs, man, looking pretty good. Excited we got this man. It sounded like we got a steal. Even from, you know, the moment we drafted him, like, wow, he dropped that far, and you let the Colts get him. The Colts have two players, Anthony Richardson, Josh Downs. They've needed players like this that can be explosive. Now, Anthony Richardson has a long way to go, a lot of potential, high risk, high reward. Although he's looking pretty good, he did have a really, really good joint practice the other day, and I saw this on NFL Rookie Watch. Anthony Richardson's deep ball is too good, which his deep ball is incredible. It's been very good, you know, against, you know, in the Bills, through Alec Pierce deep, beautiful, right in the money. Seems like a lot of his deep balls have been pretty accurate, which is good to see. He does have to work on controlling that arm wheel, like intermediate, some shorter stuff, like, you know, some of those simple hitch routes that he missed in the Bills game. He's got to work on that. Those are routine. He's got to work on those, and he will get better because he has a great mindset. His mental makeup is like he's a veteran. He's a 27-year-old, 28-year-old quarterback just getting into his prime. Has a great mentality, and it's a great sign for Josh Downs. It's a great sign for him. So there's a lot to really like so far. A lot to like. A lot of the young players shining through joint practices, training camp, and then to continue on with how Anthony Richardson's joint practice went the other day. Richardson reportedly had an efficient, in quotation marks, joint practice against the Bears today, going 15 for 19 on 11 for 11. It's impressive. 15 and 19, that's a lot better from what we've been hearing, but it's practice. You know, it's not game speed. Yeah, it's game speed and they're playing live, but, you know, you don't have all that loud noise. You don't have, I think, you know, the game atmosphere is just completely different, even if it's like a live practice, even if it's like a live practice against another team. The game atmosphere is just a totally different story, in a totally different place. But, you know, Shane Steichen recently said, there's not many guys that are able to do what Richardson does. And they're saying he's progressing quick, which we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to go ahead and say, yeah, he's progressing. He's already going to be great. No, I'm not going to say he's already being good. I just did a Madden short, and Madden predicted his stats. I mean, like, Madden had him at, like, 3,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, a 63 or 64 completion percentage. I mean, if that's his first year, I think that's a big win. I think that will be an incredible first year for Anthony Richardson. That's one of the rare times where I think Madden, you know, spitting something out that's, like, somewhat realistic. I guess we'll see, because throwing 20 touchdowns is a lot. It is for a rookie. You know, sometimes it takes rookies, you know, a couple of years. It's probably especially going to take Anthony Richardson a while. But, I mean, if he comes out having a year like that, and I think they had him having like 500-some rushing yards, that's pretty good. You know, I would expect more rushing yards from him. Or no, I think it was 700. But a little peek into the Madden side of things. We're going to be doing a Colts franchise for Madden, which is going to be a lot of fun. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning into the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. Having young players like Nick Cross and Josh Downs, both players who we have very high expectations about, really showing up in joint practices and such. So good to hear young players showing up, positive things coming out of camp, and we'll see in the preseason game, which is when we will ultimately see what's going on. This is all I got for you today. So JDW Sports Talk Show signing off. Don't forget our member shoutouts, Marshman and Red the Rat. I appreciate you guys for being members. But everyone watching this, you know, seeing this, don't ever feel like you have to become a member. You're still going to be part of the community. You're still going to be, you know, brick by brick. Every viewer represents a brick. You're very important. Without one brick, the structure is weak. And the bricks that we have are strong. We got a strong foundation going. And you guys are great. So these two, don't ever feel like you have to become a member, but if you do become a member, you will get a little extra back. You're supporting the show, and you're supporting a great, you know, it's a great place to be, and you're supporting a place where you're going to give yourself a place to talk about football, a great community. If you're going to support that, you're going to get a little extra, and Marshman and Red the Rat are going to get that. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning into the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan's welcome. We are officially signing off.